Welcome everyone to day 51 of building the flight booking engine, and we've moved a very big step. What you're seeing is the adjusted code base. The front end rather has been adjusted, and I think it looks way better. Okay, I don't know if you like it, but I think it looks better. I pushed the code, so if you haven't cloned the new code, make sure you pull it, okay, to your machine and try out. It looks cleaner and way better. And of course, as we go on, I'm going to improve it. So you see, even for this booking detail page for the administrator, it looks much cleaner and it's nice. I like it. So today we're going to talk about debouncing. Okay, I'm going to talk about debouncing. Debouncing is a technique which is going to help us improve the experience for our users on the front end. And not only the users, but it's going to help our API perform much better. Trust me. Okay. And I'm going to explain the bouncing very well. So again, if you're watching this for the first time, just know that these are 51 days, or this is the 51st video that I have spent taking the time to build this flight booking engine. It has covered the front end, it has covered the back end, it has covered DevOps concepts. We've covered so many tools and techniques, caching, logging. We've worked with tools like Terraform, we've worked with tools like AWS, we've worked with FastAPI, Next.js, so many things going on, Docker Compose. Very soon, Kubernetes AI will come to this project. So right now, I want to explain what debouncing is. And of course, I'm sorry about the time change. I got a technical challenge last night. I was not able to have the stream. Then again, at this very morning, I failed again to have a stream. But yeah, I will get better with the time going forward. So I want to explain debouncing in a very simple way. So to explain debouncing, I want to go back to the home page, okay? To the home page. I expect the home page to have this form, okay? And I am going to go to inspect, okay? So how did I go to inspect? I'll show you. I right click, then I clicked inspect, okay? I right clicked and I went to inspect. Then after that, I go to click on this and go to console, okay? For you, it might already be appearing here, okay? Then maybe I can expand, maybe just minimize this a little bit, okay? And expand this like this, okay? So that this console is bigger. So I'll show you again. I'll close this, right click, click inspect, okay? Then click on console. If console is not appearing, click on these two angle brackets, so what looks like two arrows, okay? It says more tabs, and you click and you choose, you find console among these options. Then after, click on this symbol here, okay, on this icon. If I click on it, it says clear console. Click to clear, okay? I want you to see what is going to happen. So for you to see what is going to happen, before that, even look at our form, okay? Our site is very responsive, okay, with minimal effort. All this was generated using AI, which is good for at least an MVP. But now, next step, after you've done this, let us go to our code, okay? So I'll go to VS Code. I'll go to, and you can see I made changes on the back end. I'm going to explain to you what those changes are at the end of this stream. Then I'll close this, go to front end source app, okay? I need to go to, I think, booking, okay? Not booking. There's on page.tsx, okay? This, which is the home page. I have the hero section, okay? So I'll go to the hero section. How do I go to hero section? I hovered over it. Then I pressed command or control if you're on Windows, command for Mac, then click. Then here I have this booking form, okay? So this booking form, I'll also hover over it or put my mouse or cursor over it. Press command for those on Mac. If you're on Windows, press control, then click. So on this page, we have the form, okay? And of course, this form has a number of things that are going to be done to improve it, okay? Still a work in progress. So I'm going to close this and I go to certain forms, okay? That means certain inputs. I'm interested in these two input fields, the from, okay? And the to. As you can see, immediately I tap into it, something happens, okay? You see some messages happen in the console. It has been printed in the console. There's something wrong with it, okay? But we're going to improve it. So this from, okay, and to, I'm very interested in them. So let us look for them. So we have this, we have round trip, okay, and one way, which are these two radio buttons. So I'll close this. Then we have the to from, okay, to from. To from, we have this, it's this one here. Let me minimize them, okay. Let me see, what is this? No, this is the drop down, okay. But we have this is departure date. I'm looking for, let me minimize all this, okay, so that it's clear, okay. So to from, this is destination. We are missing, there's a field which is missing. This is the drop down. I'm looking for, what is it? It's hidden. So this is origin location code, value equals to origin location code. I'm looking for this is the origin. So I'm looking for the destination. Am I forgetting my own code base? Okay. So this is what shows the drop down. Sometimes it's good to just revise your code sometimes, because you can actually forget what you implemented. Okay. Or maybe I misguided myself by having this what is it called? This comment. Okay. But an easier way by how I get things, I think this where my cursor is, okay? Where this cursor is right now. I can click on it, then click on this element to find its ID. I think it's called destination location code. If I click on this other one, click here, then click on this. This origin location code. So those input fields. So follow me very closely. I am going to explain what debouncing is, then implement debouncing. Okay. So we have the origin location code. ID equals origin location code is the first input. Then on top of that, I need to search for a destination. Destination location location code. Yeah, right here it is. Okay. It's hidden. It's down here. Okay. This is the one I want. Destination location code. Okay. And the origin location code. Origin, destination. Those are the two input fields I'm very interested in. Now, I am now going to show you the functions that handle the changes that happen to these fields, okay? So for the destination location code, okay? For the destination location code, what handles it is this method here called onChange, okay? We have onChange. And when we change, when we type something in it, okay, we have a function called set display values, is set form, these search locations, okay? But right now we are more interested in search locations, okay? In this search location function. So search locations is also on the other field. Let me reduce this. In this one, I think origin location code, we also have search locations, okay? We have search locations here and search locations here. So you can see I'm reusing both methods, okay? I mean, I'm using the same method on both inputs, okay? Origin destination location code and origin location code using search locations, even down here, search locations, okay? Now, let us now go to search locations, okay? So to go to it, you can simply hover over it, put your mouse over it, press Command if you're on Mac, or Control on Windows, then click, okay? So you have search locations, okay? So if I come here and I put a simple console.log, okay? Up here, it's a console.log, console.log, okay? I can say searching for, okay, close quotes. Then I can simply put the query, okay? Where is this? Where have I gone? This one, searching for, then I put the query, this query, okay? The query is what you're looking for, okay? searching for the query. So I save. When I come here and I go back to the console, okay? Then I click on this icon to clear it. Then I type, okay? I see it's searching for this. And of course, there's an unquote promise. This is something that we shall fix later, okay? If I go to this one too, and I search and I type, you see, we have E, okay? Searching for E, searching for this, okay? And our server is having an error, throwing a 500, which is okay, okay? So there's a bit of something, okay? See? So it's still searching for 2. But look at this. Let me clear again. If I put, say, 1, see, says searching for 1. If I put A, says searching for 1A. If I enter B, says searching for 1B. If I enter C, says searching for 1ABC. Okay. If I come to this one, okay, and I remove this, okay, and I clear. It says search for B. See, says searching for B. If I put C, says searching for BC. If I say D, says searching for BCD. If I put E, says searching for BCDE. Okay. I'm going to clear. If I remove the E, say it says searching for BCD. If I remove the D, it says searching for BC. If I remove the C, searching for B, remove the B, says searching for nothing. Okay. So that behavior, I hope you have seen it, that for every character I have typed, okay, there's going to be a request sent for it to the backend, okay? And I'm going to show you that in the code. Let's go to the code. So follow me very closely, okay? On line 81, I made a slight change, okay? That if the query.length is less than 2 characters, okay? Okay? We should not search. We should not make a request to the API. Because the API request is made here. Look at line 88, okay? Says await, fetch, okay? Base API URL, reference, data, locations. Then we pass the keyword, okay? We pass the keyword. Which, if I remove this, okay? I want to remove this, okay? I want to remove this also, okay? I want to remove this condition, and I want to go back to the. Follow me very closely, okay? All what I'm doing right now is going to make sense to you. It's going to make sense. And if you don't understand, of course, I'll give you a chance to ask me questions. So when I go to the network tab, okay, and I clear it also, okay. So the console was just for printing, for you to see that every time I type something, it will be captured by this function called search locations, okay. Now, when I come here to the network tab, okay, it will show us the network requests to the backend, okay. So I've cleared it. I clicked on this to clear. Now let me refresh this page. Clear, okay. Now look at this. If I type, I'm going to type A, okay. Type A. Are you seeing? We have a network request to locations with the keyword equals to A. Are you seeing this? Okay. It is locations question mark A. If I click on it and I bring here and I show you the payload, okay, the response. You see, we get a response, but with for that only that letter A. We made a request for A. Okay. I want to show you the header, the request, the whole request. Let me minimize this. Are you seeing the URL? Okay, to the backend. Localhost 8000 reference data / locations question mark keyword equals to A. Okay, I don't know if I can okay, you see now the full one. Okay, it's showing A, only A. If I now reduce this and reduce this, okay, look at here in the name, under name, okay. If I type B, are you seeing location keyword equals to AB? Okay. If I add a C, we get locations keyword, a request into locations, question mark keyword equals to ABC. If I put D, you see now we have ABCD. If I type E, we have ABCDE. If I put F, we have ABCDF. Okay, that's a lot. If I remove the F, it is removed. We have ABCDE. That's the keyword. If I remove the E, the keyword is now ABCD. If I remove all, I think for every action, this is the problem, okay? This is the point I'm telling you, that for every action, okay, we entered, a request has been sent. If I remove also the A, you're going to say it is sent without anything. It fails, but it is still sent, which is still bad. Okay, icing, locations keyword equals to nothing. That is bad. Okay, if I click on this icon here where my mouse is hovering, and I go to the to input for the destination, and I do the same thing. If I type D, you see, for everything we type, a request is sent to the backend. Okay, which is not good. Okay, that means the backend is receiving multiple hits. Okay, we don't want this to happen. What if someone comes and is playing the system and says maybe A, B, C, D? Okay, that's not good. Okay, or if I was searching, for example, for London, we say we come here and I say search for LNC London. I'm typing London. Okay, I'm typing London, but look at the number of requests which were sent. Okay, for almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is bad. Okay, we cannot have six requests sent to the backend just because we want to have London to get the results for London. That is bad. Okay, it's a bad experience. Okay, it gives a heavy load on the backend. So we want it. So this is the problem. Okay, so the solution is this. Okay, the solution is this. When someone, okay, before we send a request to the backend, we want to wait for the user to pause. Okay, listen to this. Before we send a request to London, we have to wait for a time where the user is not typing. Okay, so for example, let me say someone is typing. Okay, we can say we want to wait for a period of about maybe half a second. Okay, maybe half a second, not 10, maybe say 500 milliseconds. Okay, if someone types something like, for example, L, we don't send the request. LONDON. Okay, those are too close. Okay, when someone typed LONDON, they were too close. We don't want to send requests to the backend for those very close typings. Okay, we want to send a request after someone has typed maybe London. Okay, so when someone types London and that's what they want, they will pause. Okay, and wait. Okay, they can wait. So even us in the code, we can wait for maybe about, let me say, 10 milliseconds. Then we send a request to the backend. In the event that maybe someone, after he has typed London and maybe puts a T, okay, and the 10 milliseconds have not elapsed, we don't send a request. Okay, so we allow a person to type. Okay, if those characters they are typing are very close to each other, okay, we don't send the request to the backend. We only send the request to the backend after, okay, they are finished. Okay, and to detect that they are finished, we may not be accurate. Okay, I may not be accurate, but we can tell our program to wait. Okay, that wait for probably about, maybe we can say maybe 10 milliseconds or 30 milliseconds before sending a request to the user, I mean to the backend. Wait after the user has typed anything. Wait for about 10 milliseconds. Okay, so I'm going to draw it. Okay, then we code it. So let me open my favorite tool called TL Draw. And I wonder why I didn't start with it today. So we have to remove this. I'll remove this. So, okay. So this plan is talking about debouncing. Okay. I hope this is the correct spelling. So this is what is going to happen. Okay. So we have our input. We have the input origin. Okay. Code origin. Okay. So let us say we have also our API. Okay. The call to the API. We have origin, I want to say delay. Okay. To explain, I'm going to have a delay of about, let's say we have 10 milliseconds. Okay. 10 milliseconds. Can even be more. Okay. 10 milliseconds. So if someone, for example, types like L, okay, we wait for 10 milliseconds. Okay. wait for 10 milliseconds. Maybe that's what they want. They want to search for a place starting with L. Okay. Once they are done, when 10 milliseconds are done, okay, we can now send a request to the API. Okay. This whole process where you wait, okay. But before that, okay, I'll say 10 milliseconds. You wait for 10 milliseconds before sending a request to the API. If someone types O, okay, imagine the key, okay, what we're looking for is London, okay. So the key, the location we are searching for is London. So key, I'll say is London, okay. This is the goal. You want to find out London. You want to find out, to search for London. I'm going to restart this again so that you understand. So I type L, okay. Then our function checks. Well, we'll check have 10 milliseconds elapsed since the person typed L. Okay. If yes, we send a request to the API. If after that we type O, okay, we ask, has 10 milliseconds elapsed since the person typed O? No. If no, we wait, okay, for them to reach. Someone types N, okay. If someone has typed N, okay, before the 10 milliseconds elapsed, we also don't send, okay. Okay, we don't send. If someone types maybe D, okay, and the 10 milliseconds have not elapsed, we don't send a request, okay, for this whole string. We wait and pause. Okay, we wait and we just wait for the 10 milliseconds to get done. As soon as the 10 milliseconds get done, that's when you can send a request to the API. Okay, so usually this is just a technique used to assume that probably by the time someone types what they want, okay, they will pause. They have typed London, they're going to pause and wait for and then wait for their results. Okay, so when someone is now waiting for their results, that's when we also check that, okay, we're only sending requests to the API after 10 milliseconds. So don't cram it. It can be 10 milliseconds, it can be 30 milliseconds, can be whatever works for you. Okay. So that's what this whole process, okay, is what is called debouncing. Okay. And maybe to define it, to give you maybe a whole, what I can call a whole legal, can I call it legal? Like textbook kind of definition, okay? I would say like debouncing, okay, in the context of programming means to discard operations that occur too close during a specific interval, okay? So let me put my chat close here. In case you have a question, you should be able to ask me, okay? So what is debouncing? Debouncing simply refers to disregarding, okay, operations that occur too close during a specific time interval, okay, and consolidate them into one single invocation. For example, if I showed you here, okay, all these, I think our goal is to search for London. Okay, let me click, let me just refresh and clear. Okay, look at this. Let me clear this. Our goal is to search for London. So I type LONDON. Look at how many requests were sent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is bad. Okay. So what we need to do, is to discard. Okay. We need to discard the search for L, discard the search for LO, discard the search for LON, discard the search for LOND. Okay. And we can do this by setting up a time interval. We can say, like I've told you, a period of maybe 10 milliseconds. Okay. If someone is typing within this period of 10 milliseconds, don't do a search. Don't make an API request. Okay. We're going to wait for someone to finish typing. Okay. We're going to create a delay that someone will type whatever they want to search for. Okay. Then after 10 milliseconds, when they have finished typing, that is when we send the request to the backend. That is what the bounding is all about. Okay. That's what happens. Okay. So the whole goal is that when the user is typing, no other action should be taken. Okay. When someone types, okay, we want to do this. So that when someone types LO, let me clear this so that you can see properly. Okay. When someone types When someone types L, no action should happen. O, no action should happen. N, no action should happen. D, no action should happen. O, no action should happen. Okay. N should not happen. Okay, no action should happen. Why? Because typing L, O, N, D, O, N is very close to each other. Okay. It's like almost a split second away. L, O, N, D, O, N. Okay. It has been so close to each other. And you can see that all these are many requests into the backend. Okay. I want to discard all from L to this LONDO. Okay. Should be discarded. We should not send requests to the API. Only LOND, the full London should what? Should be sent. Now look at this. Okay. When I type LONDON, after typing N, I wait. Okay. I'm done typing. Okay. That is when an API request should be sent to the backend. So after typing that last character N, we can assume that someone is now waiting for their result. Okay. And in the code, we can put a delay that if someone does not type, okay, in the period of 10 milliseconds, okay, then we send a request. Okay. This is all what debouncing is all about. Okay. So when a user is typing, okay, no other request should be sent. Okay. When typing, no request should be sent. Okay. When the user pauses typing, we can start processing the input. Okay. So when typing, no API request. No API request. So I'm repeating this so that you understand it very well. Okay. And we're going to write the code soon. No API request is sent. Okay. But after typing, we pause. Shall say pause. Okay. When user pauses typing, when user pauses, can I write this well? When a user pauses typing, then do or make, okay, make API request. So this is the whole concept of debouncing. And like I told you, the goal of this series was for me to build in public, but also share with you concepts that if you do not know, you can learn them and use them to grow your skills. Okay, that's what debouncing is all about. Okay, so when you can hear someone saying, I am debouncing my search by 10 milliseconds. Okay, so if we debounce your search by 10 milliseconds, what would we the phrase would be called debouncing your search by 10 milliseconds. And what would it be like? Okay, it would be something like this. Okay, let me try to explain it in using some technical terms used. Okay, so the first call made, okay, when we do the search here, okay, the first call would be called what is called the leading edge. Okay, the first call to the search is what is called the leading edge. Leading edge is the first call to the search. After that, okay, for every next call, okay, for every other next call, you know what happens? Okay, so for every next call, what happens is this. Okay, can I type this very fast? For every next call to search, we ask a question. Okay, is this call within 10 milliseconds? Okay, for every next call to search, we ask, is this within 10 milliseconds from the previous search? Okay, is it 10? I think this is the same for milliseconds. 10 milliseconds from previous, okay, from the previous call. Is it 10 milliseconds from the previous call to search? Okay. if it is within the same window, the 10 if it is within the 10 milliseconds, okay, we don't do anything. Okay, we don't make an API call. Okay, otherwise, after this window, okay, the 10 milliseconds window, it can be any, it can be 10 milliseconds, 20, depending on your use case. Okay, after the 10 milliseconds have elapsed from the last call. Okay, from the last call. Okay, and if no other calls have happened, okay, we say we have reached what is called the trailing edge. Okay, so the first call to the search is called the leading edge. Okay, and the last one is called the trailing edge. Okay, trailing edge. So the first call to search is known as the leading edge. Then for every next call, if it is within 10 milliseconds from the previous call, it is within the same batch as the previous call. Okay, nothing happens. But after 10 milliseconds have elapsed from the last call to search, okay, then, and also there are no other calls which have happened, okay, then we have reached what we call the trailing edge. Okay, so usually search is executed once on the trailing edge, okay, only. But some people can do it on the leading edge. Others can do it on both the leading edge and the trailing edge. But me, I'm going to do it on the trailing edge only. Okay, so time to write some code. So if you have a question, if you haven't understood, yeah, this is the time where you ask questions. So I'm looking for, what is this chat window? So let's write some code. Let's create some code, a function to help us with the bouncing, okay, to prevent our API from being called on every keystroke. Okay, of course, in the code here, I'll put some small check, okay, that at least it should be, you should have at least more than 2 characters being typed. Okay, but we can either use this, okay, or not. Okay, but let me just leave it. Let me remove this, okay, to just like a manual check. Okay, but it's not actual debouncing. So let's implement it here. Okay, of course we can, like, in the age of AI, we can either prompt AI and then we fix it, review the code, but let's write it from scratch. Okay, and then maybe we can tell AI to implement our debounce function. Okay, so the goal is to prevent, okay, API calls on every keystroke. Okay? Look at this. Look at all these. See, I've typed so many characters. So look at, and all of them are pending. Are you seeing this? Pending, 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 pending. This is too much. Okay, see, all of them are pending. Some have failed. Okay, this is bad. Too much. Okay, shouldn't have this kind of stuff. You get, look at how many calls are pending. This is terrible. And each of them are being resolved one at a time. Some are failing, some are passing. Okay, look, I've now deleted. Okay, I've now deleted this. I'm now deleting all. Okay, again, I'm again typing what I need. Okay, this is bad. Okay, so let's write code to fix this. Okay, this would be very bad. So let us implement the debounce function. Okay, so follow me closely. So I'm going to write a simple JavaScript. Of course, if you don't know JavaScript, it's not so hard actually. Okay, it's not so hard. You can actually understand it. Okay, so I write a function. Okay, so like in JavaScript, you can either say function, okay, or const, whatever. Okay, so I'll say const. Okay, const. So const is like a way of declaring variables in JavaScript. Okay, a variable whose data you don't want maybe to change. Okay, but I don't have to get into the details of JavaScript right now. Just know I'm creating a function. Okay, the function will be called debounce. Okay, debounce. Okay, will be equals to, okay, a function like this. Okay, so this is my function called debounce. And just to actually, this has to be an arrow function. I have to put here arrows. Okay, so it's a function called debounce. So by now I expect that you understand what debouncing is all about. Okay, a simply a process of discarding, okay, irrelevant API requests that we don't want to send, okay, to the to the backend. Okay, so that we improve the experience. You do not to send you don't send requests to the backend for every keystroke. Okay, for everything you enter in the input. Okay, you should only send when the user has finished typing. Okay, not when the user is still typing. It should be too expensive. Okay. And actually, if you've been following, you know that on the backend I'm using Amadeus. Amadeus would charge me a lot of money for that. Okay, so debouncing is a good technique. Of course, you know that we have caching. Okay, we have a caching layer on the backend. Okay, but on top of it, we can go even better. Okay, to reach close to perfection. So let us have this implemented. So I have my notes here. So this function called debunk, okay, is going to take in two things. Okay, it's going to take in two arguments. Okay, some people call them arguments, some people call them parameters. Okay, one is going to be what they call a callback function. Okay, callback. So this is going to be the function that we want to delay. Okay, the function that we want to delay. In this case, which function? What's going to be the callback? Okay, what's going to be the callback? It's going to be search locations. Let me pull up this thing. Okay. So for those of you who don't know JavaScript, okay, if a callback is simply a function which is passed as an argument, okay, to another function. A function passed to another function as an argument is called a callback, okay. It is for execution later, okay, for execution after the completion of some operation within an outer function, okay. That is what's called a callback function, okay, usually used for handling asynchronous operations. So think about a callback function, the function which is executed, a function which is passed as an argument to another function. So this callback, in our case, will be, for example, search locations, okay? So callback, then the delay, the amount of time, okay, we are going to delay. Because AI is trying to autocomplete, okay? But the delay is simply how long to wait after the last call before running the callback, okay? So just put a comment for you here to understand. So callback is this, okay? The function you want to delay is the callback, okay? Then delay, okay? What is delay? Delay is let me say how long to wait, okay? After the last call before running or executing the callback. Okay, so this what of course I'm going to remove these comments. Okay, so if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. And if you're enjoying this and you think it is useful to you, please share in your network and like the video so that YouTube knows that this is something good. And of course, you can comment if you have a question. Okay, sometimes when people comment just to grow channels, a comment simply tells YouTube that yeah, this is nice. So you can comment in the chat box or after the stream and say this is good, okay? Just to make sure that this goes out to more people. Then, so we're going to now create a variable called a timer, okay? It's going to help us to have like an ID, okay? To identify. So I'll say let timer, okay? So I'm defining a variable called timer. Why timer? Because why let? Okay, because it's a variable whose value can be changed. Okay, I'm using let. So const for things which cannot be changed, let for variables whose data can be changed. So I'm going to have a function called timer. Okay, and timer inside this function, I'm going to return another function. Okay, so this function called Debounce, okay, is going to return a new function. Okay, this function code is going to return. So you know that in a function, okay, just like in Python or JavaScript or any programming, you can return anything. Okay, I can return a string, okay, like that. I can return a list, an array. Okay, I can return a boolean. Okay, I can return anything, an object, okay? Depends on what you want to return. So in this case, we're going to return a function, okay? And this is going to be the function which we shall actually use in our code. And whenever we call it, the debounce behavior happens, okay? So I'll say function, okay, like this, okay? Now, of course, I know people who do JavaScript can write this better, okay? And I'm sure you know about it. You can write better JavaScript using this, okay? So after that, okay, what do we need before? Before even I write the function body, this timer. Think about timer as like an ID, okay, which you can use to cancel the time, okay. We can cancel the time out if the function is called again before the delay finishes, okay. So to cancel timeout, the time, we have a function in JavaScript called clear timeout. It's actually inbuilt, okay. Clear timeout, okay, is a function, okay, which is used to cancel the timeout if the function is called again before the delay finishes, okay. So this function is going to be used to, for example, like if our delay is 10 milliseconds, okay, and someone types, okay, so by typing, you're going to call this function, okay. So by typing, if you call this function before 10 milliseconds and we cancel and start counting afresh. Do you understand that? Okay. For example, like if I come here, okay, and I'm typing London, okay. I wait, but before 10 milliseconds end, I type O, okay. We shall cancel and reset the time, okay. We clear the timeout. Again, maybe before the 10 milliseconds end, I type N, okay. We cancel the timeout. Before 10 milliseconds end, I type D, okay. Before the delay ends, I type 8. Before the delay ends, I type maybe N, okay. We cancel, okay. So it should, every time someone types something before the 10 milliseconds end, we cancel. We start counting afresh. Okay. By canceling, meaning we are counting afresh. So if someone types, for example, like LO, okay, and 10 seconds elapse, we send a request to the backend. You understand that? Okay. That's what the purpose of clear timeout. Now, clear timeout needs an ID, okay, to the timer. Okay, that timer will be stored in this variable. Okay, so initially we shall have nothing. So I'll say clear timeout. I pass the timer. Okay, so it was showing red because it needed the timeout itself. Okay, so what gives us this timer? Guys who are watching right now, please let me know. Okay, are you understanding? I need to know. Does this make sense to you? Even you who is watching after the stream, please let me know. Do you understand this? It would be really encouraging if you understand this. And if you don't hesitate to ask a question. Anything? I'm looking at the chat. All right, now time to create the actual timeout, okay? Time to set the timeout, okay? And store its ID in timer is a function in JavaScript called set timeout, okay? So I'll say, go to the next line. Excuse me. Say set, okay, timeout, okay? The function in JavaScript, okay? And this function, okay, the result of this function, okay, is what gives us this ID, the ID of the timer, okay, and we shall store it in this timer variable. Set timer equals to set timeout, okay, and this set timeout, okay, takes in a function, okay, and it takes in another function. Jacob, thank you for letting me know that you're understanding this. It's really encouraging, okay. I always want people to understand things as well as I understand them. Okay. I don't want to just speak, and I'm wasting time. Okay. Because I myself, I might understand something. They always say that also, by the way, if I cannot help you to understand something, it means I don't understand it. there's a common phrase which says that if you cannot teach it, you don't understand it. So Jacob, keep toe. Thank you very much. Every one of you who is also watching, please let me know if you understand. So let's go on, okay, with this function, okay? And of course, if you're watching this after the stream, please let me know, okay? So set timeout, okay, takes in a callback, okay? So I'll define it in line, okay, like this, put parentheses, okay, put an arrow, okay, then these curly braces, okay? And that is actually called an arrow function, okay, if you know JavaScript, okay? So you can call this callback, okay, come in between here. If I want to explain this to you, what happens is this, okay? To create a callback function, okay? To create a function in JavaScript, you can either do this. You can say function, call a function called hello world. I'll just show you how to create a function, okay? You can do this in JavaScript function, okay? In JavaScript or TypeScript, this is a function, okay? This is a function called hello. This same function called hello, I can define it like this. I can say const hello, okay, equals to function, okay? Like this. Means what is it saying? Okay, this is, let me call it hello2, okay, to avoid the clashes, okay. This is a function also, okay. I can define, I can open, I can now type the code in the body like this, okay. This is a function also in JavaScript. Or I can say const hello3 equals to an arrow, what they call an arrow function. I put parentheses, okay, then I put equal sign, that arrow, then these curly braces, okay. So function, this is the function hello, hello2, hello3, all these are functions, okay. These are ways you can create functions in JavaScript, okay. So I'm just giving you like a brief on JavaScript functions, because I know we've been talking about FastAPI a lot on the back end, and if you don't understand this, it may confuse you, okay? But this is how you define functions in JavaScript. This is a function, this is a function, this is also a function, okay? It's called a arrow function, okay? And this function is the traditional way of creating it, okay? Arrow functions are things which are introduced in a new standard of JavaScript called ES6, okay? So this is just a something on the side to help you understand what I'm doing, okay? So what I've created here is called an arrow function. How did I do it? I said, comma, okay? I mean a parenthesis like that, okay? Then I put the arrow, then the curly braces, okay? And this function called set timeout takes two things, okay? Takes a function, okay, and the delay, okay? So the syntax is this, okay? Just take a function, comma, and then the delay. For example, our steps can be maybe the number of milliseconds, okay? Number of milliseconds, okay? But AI is trying to get ahead of me, okay? So, but I'm trying to explain it so that you understand. Please, if you're understanding it, like Jacob, please say yes in the chat, okay? If you can't, please say no with your question. So, I'll define a function, okay? I'll define a function like this. It should be a simple arrow function like that, okay? Then where the delay is, instead of hard coding it, okay, I'll use this variable here called delay, okay? I'll say delay like this, okay? Then now on top of that, inside the function that we have defined, remember set timeout takes in this function. This is the function, okay? Inside here, we can execute this callback, okay? Come here, say call back like this. Are you seeing? As simple as that. Now, follow me very closely. Look at the chat if there's a question. Okay, so on line 85, I want to give this thing space, okay, so that you understand them properly. So on line 86 this time, okay, if this one clears in a previously set timeout, like I've explained, if it exists, okay, as if you type before the delay, okay, before the delay is complete, we shall cancel all past timeouts, okay, and start counting afresh, so long as you're typing before the delay, okay. Then if the delay reaches, we know that, okay, if the delay reaches, we know that you've finished typing and there's the pause, you've finished typing, and we send a request, okay. So after that, okay, we're now creating a new timer, okay. This is a new timer, okay. And we create this set timeout is a timer, and we save it in this timer variable. Then after that, after the user stops typing, okay, after the user stops typing, okay, we call this, okay. So this is when the user stops typing within. Remember, what is controlling everything is this delay, okay. After user stops triggering the function, okay, for the given delay, then callback executes, okay. So what is delay? Simply, delay is what actually ends the timeout, okay. It ensures that this callback is executed only after the specified delay, okay. As simple as that. The callback is executed only after the delay, okay. So in case you call this function before the delay, things won't work, okay. So now there are a number of errors. Can I call them errors or warnings? Say warnings, okay, that we need to resolve. So you're saying this is because now I'm using now TypeScript, okay. I'm using TypeScript. If it was just normal JavaScript file, this would be okay. In fact, let me do this. If I change this to form.rename booking form.js, okay, or JSX, whatever, okay. You say no. You see there's nothing here, okay. But I'm going to rename it back. Rename it back to TSX. So it can be TSX or GSX, okay. If you don't know GSX, TSX, you can simply Google about it, okay. But I will maybe sometime I can explain about this, okay. So if I hover over this, you see what it says. It says callback implicit. Say parameter callback implicitly has an any type, okay. So it has to have the correct type, okay. I don't know what is it called. I don't know how to put the correct types for this, okay. So we can rely on AI to see if it is correct, okay. So let me say, if you go to quick fix, infer types from usage, infer all types, okay. If I say infer types using AI, okay, that's what AI does. But the usual trick is to simply say any, okay. Look at what AI is doing. I want to accept and see. So actually, I would accept it. I think it says the bounce callback. Look at the type. It's a void, okay. To say callback, the bounce callback, simply putting types, okay. I would go with this, by the way. This is not actually wrong, okay. Let me explain to you this, what AI has done, okay. Be patient. Don't become mad. Don't become mad at me. This callback is a function, okay. A function which returns nothing in our case, okay. That's why it's called void. When you see void in JavaScript or TypeScript, TypeScript, it means none. In fact, if a programmer tells you my function returns none, or my function returns void, it means it returns nothing, okay. That's why they're saying the bounce callback. So the bounce callback is simply an annotation, typing, okay. Just like you see delay. What is delay? Delay is a number, okay. Because if it was not a number, maybe we would say it is a string, okay, like this, okay. But it's not a string, neither is it an array. It is not an array, okay. Okay, it's not an array of numbers, okay. It's how you create an array of numbers in TypeScript, okay. So it is actually a number, okay. And delay is not a function. It's not a debounce callback, okay. It's not a function. It's not a type debounce callback, okay. So it is a number, okay. So here, there's something that they used to do. Let me see. If I say, is there a type function in TypeScript? Oh, I've forgotten. Not this. Like this function. Yeah, let me see. This says creates a new function. I don't know if this is the correct return type, okay, but I'm going to do more research about it, okay. So I'm going to undo this, okay. And before even I undo, okay, I want to show you this. I see it says let timer. This time the type of return, it says return type of set timeout, which is correct, okay. The annotation for timer is the return type of the type of this, which is okay, okay. But I want to do undo, okay, and see something, okay. So this is where we are. If I hover over again and I say quick fix, and I say infer types from usage instead of using this is also what I wanted to show you, okay? That what we had in our interface, if you remember, was simply this, okay? That a function, remember I've explained to you what an arrow function is, okay? One of writing an arrow function is what they call, is by writing what they call an inline arrow function, okay? Meaning an arrow function in one line. Let me show you something. I said you can create a function like this, say a function called hello, like this. Follow me closely. I want to make sure that you understand what is happening today. Or this function can be like this. I can say const hello, say hello2 will be equals to an arrow function like that, okay? And the curly brackets define the parentheses. But also I can make it return directly and say it's returning maybe a string, okay? Returning a string like this, okay? Okay, a string, an empty string, or it is returning maybe an array like that, okay? So if I wanted to annotate this function, I can say maybe this function returns maybe void. Not here. I'm saying I meant to refer to this, okay? This is a function that returns void, okay? So you can either have this or have the interface, okay? And I think that the delay will be a number or undefined, okay? But first I want it to always be a number, okay, to be defined. Then for here, I also say quick fix, in fact, from user. It says timer can be a string, number, Node.js timeout, undefined. I prefer the previous one, okay? I think it said, is it return type? Return type, okay? Type of set timeout. This makes sense to me, okay? It says type of set timeout. So I can leave that for now. Remove this comment, okay? If any of you is not understanding, please go ahead to ask a question. I'm happy Job understands. So with this, I guess we are done. Okay, we have removed the TypeScript errors. So all is remaining is to apply the bounce to such locations. Okay, we will tell AI to apply it. Okay, let's get a little bit lazy. Okay, I will click new. Even just use the new. Okay, let me leave the new chat. Okay, and I say apply the bounce function to the search input appropriately. Okay, let us see if AI hacks it for us. Okay, but of course it's something we can do by ourselves. So yeah, this is how you work with timeout. I mean debouncing. Okay, this is how you apply the concept of debouncing. A very, very good concept that you can actually have in front-end development. Okay. So wait, what has it done? This is crazy. I think it has removed the what is it called? It has removed everything I did. Okay. And look at what it has done. This is crazy. So I guess I'm the one actually who has what? Who has can I call it I've prompted it wrongly. Okay. But if you see, we have here the bounce search origin, the bounce search destination. Okay. Tells the types for each of them. This is handle, location, search. Okay. Takes in the type, origin, destination. Okay. Time ref, search type. Okay. That says time ref, clear out, time ref dot current. Okay. So the whole idea. Okay. The same concept actually. It clears out in case you in case you type before the time elapses, then you have a set timeout. Okay. And then this is now the timer, the actual timer, okay, with the callback, calling the search type and the query, and it's calling the, what is it called? The delay is 300 milliseconds, okay, which is not bad actually. Actually, I was going to change it to 300 milliseconds, but let's go through what it has said. So here, instead of search locations, it is saying handle search location. Go down also for the destination, the same thing. Handle location search, rather. Here, so in the original search locations, okay, we have if not query or query.length is less than 2. Okay, this is a nice optimization actually which we had earlier, because we expect it to have at least more than two. So if they're not the query or the query is not less than 2, say search locations, show the previous search, show drop down. In fact, probably it is something to think about. I'm thinking about something I want to share with you. Okay. Then let me do this. Okay. Let me first undo. Okay. I want to prompt better. Okay. Let me show you. I want to prompt better. So it says I've removed the debounce function. It wasn't used correctly. Added debounce refs, created, updated. Let me prompt better, because this way you can prompt these tools better. Okay. You are a senior front end. How would you do it? I'm curious to know your approach. You're a senior front end developer. Okay. Use the debounce function to say I've discarded your implementation. To implement the debounce behavior to the origin and destination inputs. Don't modify or remove debounce. Let's see. Yeah, so the thing is going to help us save issues. Actually, don't save something. Actually, as it does that, I wanted to show you some things I actually changed to this project. I changed some things on the backend. Okay. If you go to routers, admin.py, not admin flights first, and you go to where's orders, flight orders. Here in flight orders, okay, I am now calculating the total. I add first of all on the booking model, okay, on the booking model, I added the field total price, okay, because I don't want us to calculate the total price from the Amadeus or the response, okay. I calculate it and save it to the total price, okay, just to show you there's an Alembic revision, okay. Okay, and like Alembic revision, adding the total price to the booking model, okay. How did I do that? You can watch the videos in the past on Alembic, okay. The command is simply Alembic, okay, Alembic revision or auto generate, then the revision name, okay. After that, Alembic, okay, upgrade head. So I added that field for you, of course, now because the revision already exists, and if you've been following me, okay, I'm going to push this to GitHub. You can simply do Alembic upgrade head, okay, and it will update your database. Don't forget that. What else? So after that, okay, I went on to do the calculation. Okay, look at this. So initially, the price is 0. Then if the response is there, I say response.get. I get the flight offers. Okay. Then if flight offers, okay, there's a price. It is at the first position. Okay, there'll be a price object. Okay, so I say flight offers. Okay, at the first flight offer. Okay, because there might be 10 flight offers. Okay, but all of them have the same structure. All of them have a price. dictionary in it. So I get the price, okay? So from the price info, I get the grand total, okay? I get the grand total. Then I convert it to a float, okay? And then down here, I pass that total price. So total price equals to that. But in case it's a type error or a value error, I simply set it to 0, okay? Which is very, very, very rare, okay? But I'm thinking about if, in fact, a better way of doing this. That if you cannot set a price for your order, then we don't process your order. We just tell an error happened, okay? We don't reach this level. But it's a slight modification that I did, okay? Why I did that, it will help us in the admin.py when we are calculating the stats. So here in booking stats, okay? I see when I'm saying total revenue, okay, will be equals to sum of booking the total price for bookings in booking, okay? Instead of passing Amadeus response, I say booking the total price, okay? Why is doing the sum of every bookings total price possible? Because of this, what I've just showed you, okay? Here in flights.py. So I'm also going to push this, but I wanted to inform you about that change, okay? And it helps with what you see on the dashboard. Where is the dashboard? Show you /admin. Okay, need to log in. Copy these credentials. Copy the password. Paste. So you see this total revenue, okay, is coming because of that calculation. So yeah, enjoy, okay? Slight update that I made that will make the calculation better. In fact, because of my Django background, okay, in Django, if you did this like sum, len, it would be wrong, okay? In Django, you use what they call aggregations on the Django ORM. I'm thinking SQL Alchemy or SQL model have functions for aggregation, okay? That's another optimization that I will also do later, but after researching about how it works in SQL Alchemy. So let's go back to the front end, okay, and see what AI has done. Says done. I've implemented the bounce behavior for origin and destination imports using the existing debunk function. Each input waits for 500 milliseconds after the user stops typing before triggering the API search, reducing unnecessary API calls while maintaining the original debounce function unchanged. Okay, let's review. By the now that if you understand the concept of debounce, you can now prompt AI to do it, and you can debug the, okay, knowing what you're changing. Okay, so we have the bounce unchained. Okay, this is what I wanted. And of course, there's a better way of writing this function if you want to. Then let's now see. Let's go through it. So you say it has now two refs. Okay, say the bounced search origin and the bounced destination. Okay, a ref in React, okay, is simply a tool, an object that you can use to track an element, okay. In this case, we are tracking the search origin and the destination behind the bounce behavior, okay. Then here you see it says use ref, okay, what I've just explained, like a reference to these inputs, okay, or a reference to the bounce functions for these inputs, okay. So we have the bounce, okay, takes in, here it is taking in, of course, an empty callback and 500 milliseconds, okay. This is just the definition, 500 milliseconds, but let me make them 300 milliseconds. I feel like 500 would be too much. It can even be 1000, okay. But I think, wait, I think even 1000 is okay. 1000 is like a second, eh? Maybe a second after typing, we make a request. Then look at this. It says handle origin input change, handle destination input change. Okay. Both functions have the same structure if you look at them closely. Okay. This one takes a value string. This one also takes a value string. Okay. Here it calls set display values. Okay. This is for setting the values in what you see here. Okay. When someone searches this. Okay. That's the purpose of that. Then this is for setting the information in the form. Okay. Setting the information in the form. And set display values, set form is also down here. Set display values, set form. If you don't understand how React works, okay, you'll find this quite challenging to understand. Okay. But if you know React, this is very easy. Okay. So like I told you at the beginning, I would suggest that you take time to study React and Next.js separately. Okay. You can find quick to crash courses to understand React and Next.js. Okay. Then you can come back here and you understand things very well. Okay. You don't have to rush. So like you can see, set form is setting these two values. This one sets the display values for the origin. Okay. According to this value. Okay. This one sets the display values for destination. Okay. According to this value, which has been passed. This one sets the form for the destination location code, which is the same value. Okay. And this set form sets the form values for the origin location code according to this value. What you're seeing here, the prev, prev is simply preserving the previous values. Okay. For example, like when you're setting the origin and location code, you don't want to lose the destination. Okay. So this prev prev, okay, is what they call a spread operator in JavaScript. Okay, preserves the previous value. So you're preserving, saying you're preserving everything. You're preserving the destination, but we're changing the origin. We're preserving the destination location code, but changing the location code. That's what it means. Okay. Even here says we are preserving everything, including the origin location code, but changing the destination. We're preserving everything, okay, but changing the destination location code. Preserving the destination, okay, meaning apply all the data that exists so far, but change this one. As simple as that. Then here says the bounced search origin dot current, okay, is referring to this, okay. So we call the bounce, okay, Now the function, okay, look at this, the function says search locations, okay. So what are we searching for? The origin, okay, and this value. So it's the actual function now calling, okay. And at the end says search origin dot current call is now calling, okay, calling that reference. Do you see that? The bounce search origin dot current equals to the bounce, okay. It calls search locations, which is where is it? Where is search locations? This one here, okay. So it's not being called directly, okay. Then after that, okay, it's this reference, which is here, is now called. The same thing for the destination, okay. Destination.current, okay, meaning the current reference that we have, okay. We define the bounce, okay, which is this function, okay. We're now making use of the bounce, okay. And then passing that function, and that function is responsible for calling such locations, by this time with the destination and the value, and the time, the delay is 500 milliseconds. As simple as that. Okay. Then finally we do the call to the current, the reference dot call. Okay. So what you're seeing up here is simply defining the definition of what is the bounced search or what is the bounced search origin, what is the bounced search destination. The bounced search origin is simply a use ref which will take in, okay, a function, okay, and a timeout, the delay in milliseconds. So let us see if it works, okay. So down here on change, they call the handle origin input change, okay. So let us see if this works. Just doing a time check to make sure I'm not going beyond. Clear this, come here, type. Okay, are you seeing that? It is not as fast as we had before. Let me refresh. So look at this. If I type, okay, not really that much of an improvement, okay, because maybe the milliseconds are too, can I call it too quick? Let us maybe do 1000 milliseconds, okay, which is a second after. Let me change this to 1000 milliseconds. Even this to 1000 milliseconds. The definition can be 1000, even here 1000. Refresh. Okay. It's not performing as expected. Okay. Do you see this? We have L-O-N. Okay. It made a request for all of those. Okay. I'm now thinking I should think about how to implement it myself. So I think we see that, what is it called? AI also has its limitation. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to eliminate the logic of AI and implement it my own way. And do you know how I'm going to do it? Let's do this. I'm going to undo. I'm going to copy this just to keep it. Okay. Then I Control Z. Oh, here it is. Just paste. Okay. Remove this. And then, okay, I need to look, if you go to the imports, okay, where are the imports? Where is the import? Actually, it's up here. Okay, I'm starting to think carefully. Here on change, okay, we need to work on this where is search location. Okay, so where the search location, so handle change. Okay, this can remain. Okay, and then if I move up, any idea? Let me look at the chart. Many of you always give me ideas of what to do and very good solutions. So you can. So that's why sometimes AI is tricky. It can give you something that looks correct, okay? And it is actually very wrong. So if I search, okay, all I need to do is to come here, okay? This is I'm going to create a function, okay, called Debounce is here. So in such locations, what if I look for I create a function called debounced. I call it debounced search. Okay. So that in this, okay. So remove this. In this, okay. Here, I call another function called debounced search. Okay. So I'm thinking search location results, set show drop down. Okay. Set is loading. I'm trying to understand this logic so that I can intercept it earlier. Let me see. Because I'm starting to think about, because if you look at this, okay, what happened is that what we had is the same as this, okay, that we had request for all the characters being typed, even without AI, what AI did, okay. So the time check, I'm running out of time. Let me try to wrap up in 5 minutes, so I'm not late. Okay, so this is what can happen. Okay, I'm trying to think out loud in my mind how to go about it in my own way. Okay, so the input, okay, the input here, okay, like I'll show you, is calling the search locations, which is okay. What I want is to apply now the bounce on such locations. How can I, okay, call this? Okay, so this is what we're looking at, the API call. Okay, just a moment, let me reply to someone. Okay, just responding to something to get done with my work stuff. Some people need to attend to this. All right, I think we're now close. Is a way when you can. Have you ever received a message from someone and it just distracts your mind? It distracts your mind completely. Okay, so if I got a function, okay, follow me closely. Let me try to say I think if I say create a function called debounced, the spelling of debounced search. Okay, debounced search is equals to debounce. Okay, what is wrong with this? Goes to debounce, and then because it will take the value. This will be a function. Okay, like this. Okay, and milliseconds, maybe 1,000 milliseconds. Okay, let me try to see if I can catch up with time. Then in this debounce, okay, you open code clearly. Okay, in this code right here, what's this error about? Value is never read. Okay, let me just say it's a string. Typescript can be too tight. Okay, this function returns, let me say void. Okay, returns nothing. What is it saying again? Okay, I'll fix this. Okay, then I'm going to call, maybe I need a search. Okay, I need a search. This is where now I call search locations. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. I now call search locations. Okay, this is the search locations. Okay, search locations. Okay, I want to give an example. Let's say we are searching for the origin. What's wrong with TypeScript? Infer types from usage. That's the same thing I did. Okay, let me see what it does. Yeah, that's the issue about TypeScript. You have to follow rules. What is this it's doing? Wow. I'll fix things myself. Okay. Wow, TypeScript wants to bully me. Did I put an extra bracket here? Okay. Supposed to be supposed to be void. Is this where you put the return type? So I think I'm forgetting. Let us see. Wow. Looks like I've forgotten my own. But this is what I wanted, okay? And it kept on complaining. This is crazy, okay? So now here in the bounce search, okay? In the bounce search, I want to define a function, okay? That I can say maybe for searching, okay? For searching, maybe search locations, okay? It's now search locations. Search locations, okay? So when you're searching the locations, you take, but remember, okay? I have to understand first of all what is calling, okay? What number of places where search locations is called, okay? So search locations is called here, okay? And search location is also called down, okay? So I cannot call them, okay? So what I'm going to do is this, escape. I'm going to create a function. What is this function being used? Handle change. How am I handling the change for this? Search locations, search locations. This one is search location destination, okay? Let me do this, okay? I'm going to create a function, okay? Close to this, okay? Which is going to be used for handling. You say handle locations. This is for, okay, I don't know this. I want to modify this. I'm trying to think about a solution off my top of my head. I'm going to add instead of search locations, okay? I'm going to create a function to actually pick, okay, this one handles the change from the input, but the challenge is that I think because it's doing more than one thing, I am failing to split, okay? It's doing more than one thing. I want to be able to pick, maybe I remove this, okay? Remove the state changes and leave it probably to only do the API call. That is one thing I can do, okay? That is one thing I can do, okay? So we have the bounced search, okay? Which is called the bounce. And the bounce takes in the value, okay? And the location code, okay? That is what I can do for now. But would that work? Because when you're doing something, you have to ask yourself in your mind, what could work, what could not work, okay? Because if I removed this state, okay, this state changes, how would it also behave? That is something else I have to think about closely. Think about it very, very closely, okay? So I'm going to create a function here for searching. Maybe keep the search, but searching is here, okay? Searching is here. I'm going to leave search locations like this. Then let's call this function called debounced search, okay? Debounced search will take in the value like that, okay? Okay. Okay, the value is a string. TypeScript will not give me peace, okay? If I don't, okay, then I'll fix the return type. Then inside here, okay, I can now call I can now call this one here, okay? Search locations, okay? Come here, search locations. So it can either be the origin, okay? But it has to go with the what? With the query. Let me say origin and query, okay? So I want to have it, I want it to have, so I can say, can call it search type, okay? Just to make it to match the other functions. Search type, okay? So search type, okay? Let's see search type. What's wrong with AI? Search type. So this one will be either one of the following, either the origin or destination, okay, comma, the value, the actual value, okay, that you want to search for, okay. Let me just say any, it could even be a number, okay. Then, okay, what else can I do here? Then, so the bounce search type, or the, oh, I understand why it was complaining, okay. It's not assembled to type void. I see this type here, okay. This is void. Let me just say any for now. I'll fix it. I was wondering why it was keeping on complaining, and my mind was failing me on how to fix it. So I'll leave it like that, okay. So we can now pass the search type here to search locations, okay, and then the value, okay. So calling search locations here. So which means in the input down here, I'm going to change things, okay. So the bounce search, the bounce takes in the search type, origin, which is either an origin or destination, and the value that you want to search with, okay. I'll leave it empty for now. Then the search locations, just calling this one, okay, this, okay. Then of course search locations will be responsible for calling the API and whatever, okay. Now after this, okay, after doing this, calling search locations and stuff like that, we're now past the milliseconds like we have done, okay. Now I'm going to now go to another function down here, okay. I'll call it handle const handle location change, something like that, okay. And I'll take that. This one will also take the same thing, okay, same structure like that, okay. And actually what it's supposed to take is what is actually here. What is here, okay. So here I'll pick up this, okay. I'll pick up this and paste it here. So this is such loading. Then what else? Because I needed to pick the actual data, okay. Actually, let me just leave it. Let me leave it down here like that. But I am trying to pick previous. Let me see. What do I do down here? It will guide me. Search locations value. Okay, value is e.target.value. Okay, that is okay. Which means down up here. Okay, up here. Search location. I can leave this like this. Okay, the way it is. Okay, but then okay, in handle location change. Okay, I can now call the bounced search like this. Okay, what is it saying? Expected 0 arguments got to really. This is getting interesting. Testing my JavaScript skills. Wow. Time to think with my tired mind. So how can I want to make the bounce search, okay, to pick up. Let me see if I set, okay, if I set, okay, let's say if I began by setting display values, okay, and did this, okay, but this also wouldn't work, okay, because wait, let me give AI a chance. It could actually help me think faster. Let me close. What am I looking for? Of course, this wouldn't still also work, okay? So I'm thinking about, because I'm planning how to actually call, okay? So look at this, okay? And now if I pick this, okay? Handle location change, I call it here down instead of search locations. Here, handle location change, okay? In fact, like you see how AI is suggesting saying call Debounce search, okay? It's like I'm repeating stuff, okay? Just repeating stuff. Then I call here like this, okay? This could also be the bounce search, by the way, guys, okay? Look at this, okay? I'm just actually confusing myself. I'm starting to think too much, okay? I'm starting to think too much. If you minimize this, you look at the bounce search and handle location change. Handle location change is simply calling the bounce search, and is calling it with these values, okay? But wait, let's try it out, okay? Let me see. Clear. Well, that same issue is still there, okay? It is still there. I need to think carefully. I think there's a delay, but still in the end, okay, everything happened. I think this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the response, okay? API request for all this. Okay? API request for that. I expect this to be easier. Okay? It's getting harder than I thought. Okay? And I'm running out of time. I don't know whether you guys do you get nervous? Okay? When you're rushing out of time and what you're doing is not working. Here, there's even no need for this. I can just simply call the bounce search directly. Because even if you put the 2 milliseconds, change this. Okay, this should now be the bounce search. Destination value. Okay. So all this is okay. I hope it's just because one old build. Okay. So the bounce search called the bounce is my debounce function. Okay, I'm also now thinking about my debounce function. Okay. And look at what AI has changed it to. Okay. I want to keep it simple. Let me Control Z quickly so that I understand what I'm doing. Where is it? Okay, that's what we have. So I can remove this, copy this, move down, debounce search, debounce search. Expect 0 arguments, got 2. Okay, so even this can be fixed. Okay, I want to create my debounce search to instead take in taking the, what is called, what is that going to happen? I'm going to do this instead, okay? For the bounce search, okay? I'm going to create, the bounce search is going to be like this, okay? I'm going to call, I'm going to call, create a function, okay? Then in this function, okay, I can now call the bounce, okay? Not device pixels, this the bounce, okay? Which is this one here, okay? But this time I'll pass the, remember it takes in a callback, okay, and a delay. Pass in such locations, comma, set delay for 1000 milliseconds, okay? Now, let us see. I want to just see what happens. Clear this again. I want to just step and see. I want to see what happens, okay? This is expected, okay? But now I'm thinking about, I need to raise my JavaScript. How do I pass data? Okay, so in the bounce search origin value, okay? So I can copy this, okay? Copy this, paste it here, like that, okay? Search type, origin, search type, and the query. Then to this callback, okay? To this debounce. How can I need now to pass in those values, okay? Like that. But the question should be, how do we, let me first clear this and do this, okay? Are you seeing that? It's still being called for every, and look at this callback, okay? How come the callback is not being called with this actual data, okay? This is also something I've realized, okay? My debounce is actually not complete, okay? What I can do is this, okay? I want to modify it a little bit, okay? I want to modify the debounce a little bit. There's something that happens when you get a bug, okay? And then your mind is wondering on how to go about it and fix it, okay? Because look at this line 87. We are passing such locations. When is it called here with with arguments? Okay. When is that callback called with the arguments? Okay. If I did this, okay. When is it called back? Let me do this. Are you seeing this? We're getting J, 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 J. Are you seeing this? We're getting J. Which means this thing is not working. The delay is not working as expected. Okay. Are you seeing that? If I type now KKK, we're getting requests for that. Okay. Which is wrong. It should be actually what has been passed. So there's an issue. Okay. There's an issue which which I have not figured out yet. So timer, if I see the timer, okay. Let me try to do this. Okay, I want to use the, what they call it, that syntax, that spread operator. I say here I say return, okay. Return, and I spread out the values, okay. So I'm going to let me rewrite this, okay. Say timer, and default equals to null. Trying to figure out where the issue will be. Then I return dash 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 args, okay, arguments Okay, look, I for its syntax, I say any, okay, list of any, then first I can just remove that, okay, any, but a list of any, because it can be more than one, then an arrow function, same thing, okay. Then timer, I can say window dot clear timeout, window dot clear timeout, same thing, okay. Then I pass in the timer, okay, so it's the timer ID. Say null is not assignable to type. Let me do this, okay. The timer, the timer is used before assignment, okay, no problem. Then on the next line, I can see the timer is to window dot set timeout, window dot set timeout dot set timeout. Please, if I have a solution, save my life, okay. Frontend is killing me. Set timeout there, okay. Then I can do this, comma, put the delay, okay. So it's the delay period, okay. Then what else can I do? On the next line, okay, I can now say callback, okay, and this callback will take the arguments to spread. I'll spread the arguments, okay. Let me see what this error says. Now, type number is not assignable to timeout, really. Window dot set timeout function callback args, pass the delay. What have I missed out? Callback, delay, timer, okay. Let's see, timer. Just put an implicit type any for now, just to get it to work, okay. So timer, not timer. So spread the arguments, okay. And arguments that can be passed the actual function we're going to call. Then we either clear out, so we first of all clear out in case it's within the same bunch. We need to set timeout, we'll set the timer, then the function having the callback and the time, the delay. Okay. I feel like there's something I've not defined. Okay. So let us see. Something is not right, okay? Something is not right. Yeah, some days you have bad days. Dexter says, love from India. Sir, I only know HTML, CSS, and JS right now. That's why I'm not watching you live now. But in future, I will come because the content is good. Myself, Deepak. Oh, thank you, Deepak. That's an encouraging statement. I appreciate. Thank you for watching all the way from India. Yeah, so take your time, don't rush. Take your time to learn HTML, take your time to learn CSS, take your time to learn JavaScript, take your time to learn React, and also take your time to learn Next.js. When you'll be ready, okay, and stable, you'll actually come, okay? Learning always happens. Like you see me right now, I know JavaScript, I know React, okay? But now there's something I need to figure out, okay? It's either with how my debounce function is written, okay? Or something with how I'm using this debounce function, okay? It could be something wrong with it, which I haven't figured out yet, okay? But that happens, and this is part of programming. In fact, that's one of the reasons I made these live streams, is to show you that making mistakes is okay. And sometimes you may work and fail to solve a problem, okay? And get stuck on it for hours. Just like you're seeing me stuck on an issue, okay? And it could be for several reasons. Probably I don't have enough knowledge on it, okay, which can be resolved by reading more, or it could be because I have a tired mind, okay, and sometimes you need to take a break to resolve it, so that when you rest and after taking the break, you come back with your mind clear, okay, fresh mind clear, and with a clear mind, it's easier to spot issues, okay, with the code, okay. So it is very okay to fail sometimes, okay. Only thing you do is you don't give up, okay. So in the next stream, okay, I'm going to be back, okay. I think I should have a stream tonight, okay, same time tonight or tomorrow very early, so that we resolve this issue, okay. But I hope you understand the concept of the bouncing. The goal is understanding the concept of the bouncing. For you, Job and the Park who have been watching live, I hope you've understood it. And if you're watching it after the recording, I hope you've also understood. I mean, if you're watching it after the stream, okay, I hope you've also understood the concept of debunking. Wow, what's wrong with me? Why am I saying debunking instead of debouncing? I think I'm tired, okay? I'm tired. I hope you've understood the concept of debouncing. And next stream, let us work to fix this, okay? Let's work to fix this and resolve it. So thank you for learning with me. I hope you've picked something and that you've seen that mistakes can be made. Sometimes you may not have success with what you're doing, okay? But we have to implement debouncing either way, one way or the other. So let's talk about a fix in the next stream. Thank you, Job. Thank you, Deepak from India, for being an active participant in this live stream. For those of you having questions and you're watching this after the stream, leave them in the comment section. And of course, subscribe and share with people in your network to grow this community. Bye for now.